secret steps, the 3 secret sauces, right, to negotiate a real estate deal. Many people say they're good negotiators. Are they? I believe that these 3 secret steps can unlock hundreds of thousands of dollars in your business. And over the last year, I've spent probably $30,000, 500 hours learning this, and we're going to put it up into a ball for you to learn right now, right? And we've helped dozens of agents just like you be able to unlock the secret to negotiating in their business to give them the results that they want. We used to charge it as part of our course, but now we're just going to give it to you guys for completely free. Now I'm giving all of this to you guys, and so let's dive in, buckle up. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to show you guys how to roadmap your one sheet to negotiating. I'm going to show you guys how to close anyone, and I'm going to show you how to sell what they actually want, what the person's needs are, what they actually want. We're going to show you how to do that. So let's dive in. And the number one thing in negotiating, in my opinion, is mirroring, right? We learned this from Chris Voss, one of the top hostage negotiators. He's written a book, Never Split the Difference. And I actually have his book right here. It's a great book. But one of the things that he talks about is mirroring. And you literally just mirror what the other person says. And if they come in and they say, you know, we can never give you $5 million for that house. Like our clients will only pay, you know, I don't know how we could ever give you $5 million. And I'll say, give you $5 million? Yeah, we could. It's not worth $5 million. Because of this, this, and this, right? And I'll say, well, because of this, this, and this. And like, yeah, our clients are only willing to pay, you know, $4 million for it. And I'll say, well, they're only willing to pay $4 million for it. And they'll say, yeah, we're only willing to pay $4 million because of this, this, and this. And I'll say, because of this, this, and this. And like, yeah, if you fix that, this, this, and this, we'll probably pay, you know, closer to $5 million. I'll say, you guys will pay closer to $5 million if we do this and this and this. Yeah, boom, right? Like there it is. So literally just mirroring. You negotiate every single day. You negotiate with your spouse to have sex. You negotiate with your kids to go to bed on time. You negotiate every single day. And so figuring out how to mirror will be a great tool for you. And having the one sheet, right? The one sheet is back here, and he says the win-win goal really is a win mentality. So for all you win-win people out there, the win-win negotiator on it, they basically just take the bottom line, and that's where they end up, right? They're like, oh, well, our bottom line is this, and this will make everybody happy, and so that's what they go for. And it's in your client's best interest to get the very most for their home. So carrying the written out what you want in the negotiation. So having your one sheet in your pocket and asking these questions. Why are you there? What do you want? What do they want? Why? You must be able to summarize a situation in a way that the counterpart responds with, that's right. So for example, it says, it seems like you want to move to Florida to be next to your family. Yeah, that's right. It seems like you don't like the idea of selling your home at the bottom of the market. Yeah, that's right. It seems like you value your time, and selling your home as quickly as possible is important. It seems like possibly working with us could make things easier. Yeah, that's right. It seems like you're reluctant to sell your home at the bottom of the market. That's right, right? So what is making them want what they want, right? Motivations are what they are worried about and what they hope for, even lust after. So what are they motivated by? Is it to be with their family? Is it to sell but usually it's not always the money, right? What are they going to do with the money? What is the why? What is their why for selling, right? Is it, yeah, maybe they want to sell at the top of the market to make $500,000, but what are they going to do with that $500,000? Like, what is their why? And so asking these questions about the deal, like what could be potential deal killers? What are we up against here? What's your biggest challenge you face? How does making a deal with us affect things, right? What happens if you do nothing? What happens if you don't list your house with us? What happens if you don't list your house at all? What does doing nothing cost you, right? Or even talking to real estate agents, right? What is moving over to EXP? What does that cost you, right? What does not moving over cost you? That's the real question. All right. And then you come in and it says, and this is kind of the closer, it says, it seems like moving to Florida to be with your family is important. It seems like you feel my company is in a unique position to help you get there. And it seems like you're worried that we can't do it in the time frame that you want. right? Something like that, right? And that's right. So you're handling their objections, you're figuring out what they are, you're figuring out what his pain points are, you're really figuring out what his desire is and getting to that place, right? The second thing is how to close anyone. Uncle G, Grant Cardone, his salespeople are like velociraptors, and this is what they do. They acknowledge, they isolate, they validate, they try to go for the early close, and they figure out, what it is. And most of the time it's just a complaint. So let's go over that, right? What does that mean? So acknowledging is, so by saying, you're right, I'm with you, tell me more, I agree. All of those statements acknowledge the person, because as soon as you say that's not right or no, it pushes the other person away. So agreeing gets you one step closer to that person, right? And then you isolate, figure out what it really is, because there's only real one objection. There's not a ton. So what are your other concerns, right? What else bothers you? If I could solve that one thing, would there be anything else, right? If I could solve that one issue of the price, would there be anything else? No, it's just price. No, it's time. So if I could solve, so what is it? The time or the price? Because there's only one. You got to figure out what it is, right? Or is it the product? And then you validate. So what's your real objection? What's your real concern? Because the first one they give you sometimes isn't really it. Maybe it's a money issue. Maybe they don't have the money to pay. So you got to figure that out. And whatever they say, right? Whatever their real concern is, you say, well, that wouldn't keep you from moving forward, would it? Right? That's like the uppercut, right? Just boom, right? Well, that wouldn't keep you from moving forward, would it? I love that line. So why do you say that? When you say that, can you explain more? And here it is. It's either the product, the price, the terms, they're stalling, or time, right? Maybe it's a timing thing. Maybe it's a payment thing. Maybe they need to get paid before they can pay you. So figuring out what that is, isolating it, and most of the time, a complaint is not it's not a true objection. It's just a complaint. So acknowledging that, saying I understand, I agree, I felt the same way. Sign right here. I agree. That selling your house right now is a hard thing. I agree. I understand. I'm with you. I felt the same way. Let's move forward. Boom, just like that. So I love using those lines. I've used them plenty of times. And the last thing is listening. Listening is the biggest key to figuring out what the other person wants, because what the problem is most people go in and they just try to sell them right away instead of figuring out what their why is, figuring out what their actual need is, and making your product, your service fit into what that is. Because if you deliver it, it could be the best delivery ever, the best hook ever, the best product ever, whatever it is. But if it's packaged wrong, you miss. So listening to what their desires are, what they really want. And so listening is key. And so asking questions like, hey, what is that rock in your shoe? What is the biggest thing keeping you from going to the next level in your business? Right? What's the number one thing keeping you from your goals? Right? What's the rock in your shoe? What's the number one rock? Listening to that, and then asking the question of, what are you doing to solve that problem? Right? Or just say, hey, what are your goals? Oh, I want to make 200,000. Great. What are you doing right now to get there? Boom. Right? And they'll say, well, I want to make 200,000. And then you figure out why. Why do you want to make 200,000? Well, I actually want to net 200,000 because I want to be able to take 50,000 and give it to this nonprofit that I'm really passionate about. Boom, right? Now they're passionate about this, and this is their why. This is what makes them tick. This is what it is. Or, hey, I need to pay for my kids' college. Or, hey, I want to be able to go and travel for this time of the year, and this is that extra 50,000 is going to allow me to do that. So figuring out what that why is, and then really, diving into that why, listening and saying, hey, this is what if that's what they want, then figuring out like how to help them actually get there. Making your product, your service fit into that. And if it doesn't fit, then tell them like, hey, I don't think this is a good fit, but I believe this and this would be a good fit, right? Then passing it off to something else that can fit. Becoming a true person that wants to help, right? Because when you truly want to help people, that's when you have success. When you're just trying to sell them something to get that, it's transactional versus relational, right? You become a consultant versus just somebody trying to make that sale. That's the difference between a salesperson and a consultant. A consultant truly cares about that person, and they want to see that person have true success. And it's not about the dollar amount. It's not about how much they get paid or when they get paid. It's about truly helping that person, right? And when you figure out that is the key to sales. That is the key to success, right? So let's wrap it up here. The number one thing is mirroring. Number two is using grants, acknowledgement, isolating, validating, going in for that early close, and then figuring out what it really is, and then just continuing to go through that cycle, continuing to isolate and to validate and to figure out, what it is, how are we going to get them to the finish line, all that stuff. And the last thing is listening and truly wanting to help that person, right? And that is what I got for you. That is how you become a master negotiator in anything you do, any business. That is it. Talk to you soon.